Tiffany here again, and I've had a number of clients need to talk to me about this week. So I felt that it was important for me to jump on here and go live before I start teaching my NLP class today to explain this concept to you about how your language impacts the outcome of your goals and give you some tips to start changing that right away. So if you want more of these tips and more activities to help you get unstuck from your life, to reconnect with your purpose in life and to go to the next level, go over to ultimateselflove.com. This weekend is the last 3 days that you're going to be able to get that program absolutely free. So head over ultimateselflove.com. All right, so let's get into it. Our language is very, very powerful, and that's because our language and the words that we choose to use to describe ourselves, to describe our life situations, to describe our goals, will ultimately determine whether we get there or not. Before I get into the language though, I just want to give you a little background biology. So in our brain, we have this thing called the reticular activating system. If you've watched any of my videos, you know that this is something that I talk about often. The reticular activating system, or the RAS, is essentially like your internal GPS system. So think of your Google Maps in your phone. Whatever words that you use to describe your life is what you put into that GPS. And the job of the reticular activating system is to get you to the picture that you create, or to the address, so to speak, that you put into your GPS as quickly and as easily as possible. So when we communicate with ourselves, whether we're talking to somebody else or whether we're thinking, we are continually programming that GPS system to take us to where we say that we want to go. Now, here's the thing. We often talk about things in the negative, as in we want to avoid them, but our unconscious mind doesn't understand negatives. It's not able to process negatives. And so what happens is, when we communicate something, we put a picture of that thing into the reticular activating system, and then the reticular activating system gets us there as quickly and easily as possible. So I'm going to give you a couple examples of exactly what I mean here. And if you want more exercises, you definitely need to head over to ultimateselflove.com. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 3 more days. It's the last 3 days that you'll be able to get that program absolutely free. So ultimateselflove.com. And if someone could type that into the comments for me, that would be fabulous. So let's look at a couple examples. If I talk about how it's hard to make money, the picture that I put into my head is one of like having to slave away, work long hours, usually it's something I don't like, and really work myself to the bone in order to make any money at all. Now, what that does is every second you have 2 million pieces of information coming into your unconscious mind, but only 134 pieces of that information gets through to your conscious mind for you to then take action on. So your reticular activating system is the thing that filters from the 2 million to the 134. So if I think that I have to work hard to make money, then I filter out, I basically put on blinders to not see any opportunities to make money easily. If I believe that I can't make money doing what I love, then I filter out opportunities to monetize the things that I love. And by the way, if I can make money doing what I absolutely love, you can as well. I wrote down a list of things that I absolutely love not long ago, and it was things like horses and yoga and meditation and nature and helping people and spirituality and dogs. I get paid to incorporate all those things together and make programs that help people change their lives now. So if I can do it, you can do it. And all it took was shifting the language that I used. If you say to yourself, I can't afford that thing, right? Your reticular activating system just puts a big X through whatever that thing is. let's say you want to hire a new coach and you say, well, there's no way that I can afford that. You put a big X through that coaching program and your reticular activating system just cuts you off and moves on to the next thing. If you change your language to how can I afford it, your reticular activating system opens up those blinders to find a solution to the problem. So stop saying no to something that you actually really want or that you know will help you change your life, and start asking yourself, how can I? I'll give you another example, and this is another common one, is I had a friend who came to me one day and said, I need to stop being overweight. So her goal obviously is to get fit and to stop losing weight. The thing is that all of her behaviors are going to be driven by the picture that's in her reticular activating system. Now, what do you think? Comment in the comments. What do you think the picture in her reticular activating system is? If she says, I need to stop being overweight, or I don't want to be overweight anymore, whatever the language was that she used the word overweight. So the picture that she puts into her head is herself being overweight. Now this person was gluten intolerant to the point where if she ate like a crumb of anything that had flour or gluten in it, she looked like she was about 8 months pregnant the next day. So her and I'm also gluten intolerant, by the way, and her and I went out for dinner, and of all places we chose to go to a burger joint because that just makes sense for two people who are gluten intolerant, right? The difference is that I ordered first. Now, their gluten-free bun kind of tastes like cardboard, and I'm not a fan of cardboard, so I asked for my burger with no bun. She then heard me and said, that sounds really good. I'm gonna get the same thing on the poppy seed bun, please. And I was like, what are you doing? You're gonna be in so much pain tomorrow. You're gonna be bloated and look like you're pregnant. Then you'll be complaining about how you don't fit into your clothes. And she said, well, but there was no other options. I don't like the gluten-free bun. And I said to her, you just heard me order my burger with no bun. And she was like, oh, I didn't even think of that. So her reticular activating system, even though she heard what I said and she was sitting right there for the whole conversation, she filtered out the option of getting her burger with no bun because she had this picture of being overweight in her head. And this happens consistently where people tend to focus on the behavior that's disempowering them without realizing that the belief behind it and the language that they're using is causing that behavior to happen to the next degree. So if you want to get out of self-sabotage and you want to get unstuck, make sure that you head over to ultimateselflove.com, because I give you 7 days. Actually, just between you and I throw in a bonus 8th day. But I give you 7 days of exercises, 8 days of exercises that you can do along with 8 meditations. So you're gonna get 16 emails from me over the course of 7 days to really help you get into and understand what kind of pictures you're putting into your reticular activating system. So I'm gonna give you one more story, but if you have any questions as I'm telling this story, pop it in the comments. And this is another common one, is that people will procrastinate in their business. They'll make bad decisions in their business, and that in itself is actually a form of self-sabotage. If you talk about your business as being a struggle, if you talk about business as being hard, if you make jokes to people, even if you're joking, your unconscious mind takes it seriously. So when you make a joke to people around, oh, let's hope I don't fail this time, what picture have you put in your head? Failing. So then you fail and you can't figure out why. Or you start procrastinating or making bad decisions or not doing the right work or forgetting to do a key step so that you fail. That's what happens. Your reticular activating system will line up your life to get you to what you've asked for. Now, it doesn't make sense that anybody would want to fail, but your reticular activating system doesn't have that judgment. It doesn't go, She's saying failure, she's putting a picture of failure in here, but I don't think that's really what she wants. Our reticular activating system doesn't have that logic and reasoning. It's like a computer. What you put into it is what you get out of it. So you put in failure, you're going to get failure out. You put in debt, you're going to get debt out. You put in overweight, you're going to get overweight. So start paying attention to the words that you use, because every single time you say something about yourself, you are programming yourself to that thing. I was having a conversation with somebody yesterday where they said, oh, I hope I don't get distracted. Well, if you say that, your unconscious mind is going to find a way to distract you. Right? Your unconscious mind will make you feel or make you do the things that you say about yourself. So anytime you use the words I or I am, whatever comes after that is what you're putting into your reticular activating system. So be aware of those words. And when you're setting goals, talk about what you want as opposed to what you don't want. If you don't want debt, then what do you want instead? Don't say more money, because if you go outside and you find a penny on the ground, your unconscious mind is going to go, tick, we reached that goal, right? So you have to be specific. Jim Carrey talks about how he wrote himself a check for like $10 million. And then after he filmed Dumb and Dumber, he was able to actually cash that check. What he got paid for Dumb and Dumber was $10 million. It was exactly what was on that check. So be specific about what you do want. Stop focusing on what you don't want, start focusing on what you do want, and be careful of the words that you use to describe yourself. If you say, I am this now, then you will keep reacting that way. If you say, I used to get distracted and moving forward, I'm going to be laser focused, then you will react with laser focus. So that's it for me today. Make sure you head over to ultimateselflove.com and get your free copy of my 7-day self-love program, only available for free for the next 3 days until Sunday at midnight. And then it's going up to, I'm not going to tell you because I want you to get it for free. So go to ultimateselflove.com. Have an amazing Friday and an amazing weekend, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye.